Welcome to Tech Tuesday. I'm Jennifer Gibson.
And I'm Rich Dixon.
What are we going to talk about today, Rich?
Well, we're going to take a look at two apps.
Okay.
It's one service, but two different apps.
All right.
It's a piece of software called Socrative, and what it does is it takes a poll of how students are acquiring or what they understand about a particular topic that we're talking about.
Oh, wow.
So as a teacher, we can be giving, in a sense, customized assessments and getting in real time the results.
Okay, I think I've seen this with another kind of product where the students have small devices in their hands and then it's linked up to the teacher's laptop. So they're getting automatic feedback, informative assessment information. Is this similar to that, or?
That's right, it's very similar.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take a look. Socrative has two different apps. One is the teacher version, the other is the student. They're both free. You can download those through the App Store. And they're also available on the Android tablet. They are, again, really easy to use. Once you launch them, what you can see on your screen right now is the teacher interface. After you sign up for the service, each teacher gets a particular number. In my case, it's 6 digits, and you can see that listed at the top there. It says my room number. And then you share that out with your students. The students have the software, the app, on their iPad.
Is the number that you get as a teacher, is that something that changes all the time, or is that your number for the whole year?
That's it. It's your number that's associated with your email address and the password that you set up. So in other words, it's for you to use indefinitely.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about what we can do with this app, what kinds of questions we can ask?
Okay, so as we can see on the screen, we have an opportunity to ask multiple choice questions, true, false, provide a blank area, short answer, where students can just have an open-ended question, just type in their answers. We have quizzes that can be started, an exit ticket, which I really like. It's a comprehension check for students before they exit.
Let me just clarify here. So I think what you're saying is an exit ticket as far as before the students can leave that period or the class day, they have to be able to answer and give some kind of response.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. We're on the same page.
It's perfect. And then there's a couple different games, Space Race, which is a little bit of a game there.
Very nice.
And then there's a way for us to take a look at that data, the information that we've collected from our students under Manage. But what I thought I'd do briefly for our demonstration today is to take a look at the short answer activity, because I find this is a great way to do two things. One, if you happen to be leading professional development with adults and they have iPads or an iOS device, they can easily submit their questions to you while you're presenting. Students can do the same, absolutely. And I find for those students that are really reluctant vocally, this is a great opportunity to level the playing field. So they might be very inquisitive, of course, but very shy, and they might not have that domineering personality that allows them to raise their hand and really participate. But they can interact with the questions and the lesson by asking a question. You write it up on the board. There's not going to be a question that's going to appear on their iPad. And then they can respond with a short answer.
Well, you can also use your laptop, though, to write it up and project it. So you have a number of different things that you can do, I would imagine. Well, let's take a look.
All right. So again, I'm going to select short answer. And inside of here, the student on their laptop or their mobile device are not going to see any question. This is a question that I could project through a laptop or write on the board.
Right. Okay, let me just explain a little bit here. I have the student version loaded up on my iPad. And what I'm seeing right now is the room number that Rich gave me, and I'm already logged into his classroom. And basically, the only thing I see is submit a response. So I would have to look somewhere in the room to get the question. But what I like is I tap into the box. I have access to my complete keyboard to start typing in a short response. So now we're talking about, this ability to get away from, say, multiple choice questions, although I did see that there.
Yes.
And giving some more feedback into this kind of system. I also could see where if the two of us were partners in class, we could come up with our response together, giving that collaborative kind of response to a question. I love it. Or if you had limited iPads too.
Absolutely. What's great. So let's have you just go ahead and, even if you write in the word, this is a test, we'll be able to see on the screen what it looks like on the teacher side, on the teacher app.
All right, I've done it. Should I put submit now?
The student will see submit. So that information, that response is sent to me automatically, and I can
already see it.
I can see that right away, and it says this is a test, which is exactly what Jennifer had typed in. So you can imagine seeing multiple lines, one line for each student response, and the response length can be very long if you want. It doesn't have to be limited just to a line, a short set of words there.
Okay, and I noticed that it doesn't say that this is from me.
No, it's anonymous, which is another way to go. You can ask your students to identify themselves, but again, it's another way to elicit feedback, particularly for those reluctant.
They could put their student number or their name in there if they wanted. I like it.
Absolutely. And you can actually, once you're done, you can actually ask students to vote on different responses. And if you have 2 or more responses, you can actually have your students work through voting on, say, tasks that they all want to work on first in a project if you're planning a project.
Okay.
Or what they think the right answer is if it's a question that you've asked the class.
I see so many opportunities for this, and even in just saying, you know, we're working on this particular project. Let's say it's a project on beaches, beach cleanup, and you could have them vote on what beach they want to go and work on, and they get to have input, and you could see what response was, you know, most commonly found. I
That's
love
right.
this idea.
That's
This
right.
is fabulous.
So this is a quick overview on Socrative, which again is a great student poll utility here where we can gather information about what students are thinking through using an iPad or any other device that has a web browser and is connected to the network.
Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Tech Tuesday.